Welcome back to Boom and Bust. I'm your host, Tony Clement, having a discussion with Mr. Ian Hamilton. He is the CEO of the Hamilton Oshawa Port Authority in Ontario. Ian, let's talk a little bit more. I know you mentioned this right off the top, the supply chain issues that this country is facing. It seems to be on the lips of pretty well everyone since the COVID pandemic and all of the supply chain disruptions that happened there. Still a lot of concern amongst businesses about resiliency of supply chain. So again, can you sort of walk us through the challenges as you see them and how the port authorities and specifically your port authority can help with those?
Yeah, certainly. As and as you said, first probably started with COVID, and then various other issues have really highlighted the challenges. Whenever there's a labor disruption, on now we're seeing more and more climate disruptions. We really understand that. One of the critical success factors of our country is going to be to get goods to both on and off of our shores and to foreign markets, and also the importing the goods that we need for our day-to-day lives. So again, we've supply chains have always been in the background, and most recently now they've really been brought to the forefront. And I think people are starting to understand how important they are. Almost 90% of everything we touch and use at one stage is moved by marine on into and or out of the country, and all of those come through some port at some stage. So you can start to understand how valuable that is. And I think what you're describing is really the volatility that exists, and we really need to invest in the infrastructure and the legislation to build a much more robust supply chain that is more resilient and offers more redundancy built into it, and has the capacity to continue to grow as Canada grows.
So is part of what you're saying to federal government, provincial governments, let's say, or in this case, the Ontario government, invest in the expansion of your and other port authorities, and we can get more goods in a greener way to market? Is that basically the pitch?
Yeah, 100%. The Certainly, from the investment side, we've had the National Trade Corridor Fund over the last few years, which many facilities have benefited from, but that envelope's empty now. So we'd love to see that reinvested in. We've also, as I mentioned, the Bill C-33 and other forms of legislation is currently working its way through Ottawa, and we'd love to see some legislation come through as well. Of course, the acute problems with our supply chains at this moment in time are appear to be solved, but the underlying infrastructure shortages and legislative challenges still exist. So to kind of expand on your point, yes, we're very much trying to find a way that we can use more marine, particularly in Ontario and on the Great Lakes.
Hmm.
The highway system is clogged. The railway system is at capacity, whereas we could probably handle double the amount of cargo that currently moves on the marine solution. And that comes along with that environmental profile of dramatically reducing greenhouse gas emissions, taking trucks off the road to reduce congestion, but also should have a significant impact on creating a better cost structure for the movements of goods. The I'll keep going on that topic because it's
Yeah,
quite
that's
exciting right
important.
now.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
and we really are at a bit of a convergence of different events, in that the focus on the environment, as we talked about, the supply chain volatility that we've noticed, all says how do we better utilize our inland waterways. So we're working in one area, of course, is to start to bring finished goods and containers by marine into the Great Lakes, and for that to happen, we need to create bonded facilities with CBSA, so that we can actually receive those goods and then allow them to clear in Ontario. And this is taking a little while to get through, but it's a critically important element to allowing us to take advantage of that capacity and the benefits of that capacity that exist in our marine solution.
So what does specifically an investment in infrastructure look like from your port authority's point of view?
Yeah, so they're quite varied. The most obvious one is maintaining and building dock walls that actually will receive the ships. But we're seeing that more and more so that ports are becoming multimodal industrial hubs.
Mm.
So we're investing in warehousing. We're investing in the infrastructure to support manufacturing. We're investing in quite a bit into rail as well, so that customers have that modal choice where they can interface with both marine, road, and rail. So those are kind of the key areas. We also have a real focus on sustainability now, and that's all the ports across the country. So trying to take care of stormwater management systems, take care of our buildings, and all these elements that'll help to reduce our footprint on the environment.
Ian, we're going to take another brief break. Please stand by. We'll continue our discussion. Thanks for joining us
Sure.
today. We'll be back after these messages.